Mariachi music began when three groups came together: the indigenous groups of Jalisco, Spanish invaders, and enslaved Africans. Even though we call them groups, it's important to remember that there were a lot of different communities in each of these groups. For example, you hear people say things like indigenous people of Mexico, but this group includes communities who originally spoke more than 200 languages. 500 years ago, these groups came together to create mariachi music. The violin, harps, and Spanish language came from the Spanish invaders. Indigenous cocas invented the vihuela and the guitar. Enslaved African communities contributed the rhythm.
California was taken by the United States after the war with Mexico in 1848, under the Treaty of Guadalupe, 2 years after the annexation of Texas. In spite of the heavy influx of Anglo culture in Southern California, especially after the completion of the railroad lines in the 1880s, the Californianos were able to maintain their customs to some extent. However, the heavy immigration from Mexico from the late 1800s to the 1930s helped to strengthen Mexican culture in Southern California. Much of the immigration to California from Mexico has been from the central and northwestern states of Jalisco, Chihuahua, Zacatecas, Durango, Guanajuato, and Michoacán. For this reason, the ranchera music of Jalisco has always been especially popular in Southern California.
We're right here at Mariachi Plaza in Boyle Heights on 1st Street and Boyle Avenue. This is a historic spot here because this shows the Mexican-American influence here in Boyle Heights and how it changed and influenced the community from being multi-ethnic to being over 95% Mexican-American Chicano. So over there you see some of the mariachi guys, they're getting ready. They're here for hire, so you could come here, like if you have a party today, you can come and negotiate with them and get them to come play at your party. Mariachi music originates in the state of Jalisco from Mexico. And that just shows the influence of what part of Mexico was predominant here in Boyle Heights.
La raza mexicana shall be history.
Chicanos are marching to protest the high casualty rate of our people in Vietnam. We have suffered 22% of all casualties in Vietnam, yet we only make up 5% of the total population here in the United States. The Chicano people, through our moratorium, are saying now that the front line for Chicano youth is not in Vietnam, but in the struggle for social justice here in the barrios of the United States.
Before, the people were divided very much, especially during the Pachuco days. Chicano would be fighting Chicano. Now I see unity. Like now you can go from one barrio to another and you're brothers. And this is really beautiful to see people united and fighting for the same cause.
The Brown Berets evolved out of the movement in the Chicano community for social justice. The Brown Berets are a community organization that give new pride to Chicano youth and that educate all the people in the barrios on their social and political rights. Of over 20,000 people in the march, more than 7,000 remained to listen to música and speeches from various Chicano community leaders.
To me, LA is one of the most influential cities in the world. Our style is embraced on other sides of the planet. It's something about the black and gray tattoos, the lowriders, the white tees. They want to be a part of the Chicano Mexican-American view of life.
It's the pulse of the city. It's the heartbeat of Los Angeles. The roots of this city are Chicano.
If you
look at every major metropolitan city in America, it's all European based. But when you come to Los Angeles, that's not the case. Los Angeles is basically built on, with people of color. Like, it's close to Mexico.
We're in East LA Backyard Gig right here in Boyle Heights. Come on in, follow me.
When people think of Los Angeles, they think of wealth and glamour. But LA is bigger than that and beyond that. We are LA, we live here too. The scene is LA, punk rock is LA.
Kids come from all over Los Angeles, sometimes even Orange County, San Diego County, just to come to the East LA backyard shows.
Well, I'm Epos. I'm from South Bay with Hawthorne, the Dirty.
I'm from Silmar, California.
I'm born and raised in Boyle Heights.
I'm from Pico Rivera.
I'm from East LA, born in East LA.
I'm from East LA.
From Long Beach. I'm from Compton.
From El Monte, California, 66 SGV.
I'm from Santa Clarita.
And I'm from South Central.
And I'm from Wilmington, California.
Boyle Heights.
There are close to 54 million Hispanics in America, of which Mexican Americans are the biggest group.
The statistics, the numbers, are moving in the direction of this country being much more brown.
No matter what way you look at it, Mexican immigrants are changing the United States.
Tacos are the #1 fast food in the country. Tortillas now outsell white bread, wheat bread, and bagels.
So, I know where they come from, but what's the Mexican American experience once they're here? Ever since I got to Arizona, people have been telling me that there's a huge difference between being Mexican and Mexican American.
How can we begin to explain what America means to us? Chicanos, Mexicanos, Hispanos. The names have all been changed across the century, but they all mean the same thing. They mean that we have been Americanos longer than America has existed.
There are Mexican American, Chicano, Hispanic,
Chicana, Latina,
Latino,
Spanish, Mexican American.
There's no such thing as a hyphenated American. You're either American or you're not.
There is that disconnect between the labels that the United States government gives to us and the labels that we ascribe to yourself. Mexican American, Chicano, we use it interchangeably.
Chicano is an offensive word to me.
People get insulted because it was a radical movement. It was a movement that said, we've had it.
There's nothing wrong with being a Mexican. I'm proud of it. I don't need this Chicano thing.
What does Chicano mean?
I'm not really sure what it means, but it's offensive to me. Okay? Mexican is not offensive.
But that's not the only thing the Mexican American community doesn't agree on.
There are some that have become very conservative. They don't like undocumented people crossing the border.
Jim, who's the son of a Mexican mother and a Jewish Latvian father, says the media doesn't represent his type of view enough.
Just look at me. Yes.
Think small.
I'm in Zacatecas, a historical capital city in the center of Mexico. It's a hotbed for charro fashion, where stylish cowgirls and rodeo kings alike are pouring in for the event of the year. The Nacional de Charrería Championship is the Super Bowl of charrería, Mexico's national sport. It's a raucous, month-long rodeo. But amidst the chaos of dancing ropes and stomping hooves, there is one display that's impossible to miss. Escaramuza. It's the only event that's exclusively for women. It's a high-stakes ballet on horseback, like synchronized swimming, but at 15 miles an hour. It's also one of the only sports that scores you on what you're wearing. Regulations mandate heavy sombreros, puffy sleeves, and ankle-skimming headlines. Details rooted in Mexican tradition, but this year, more teams than ever are coming from the United States. I'm here to follow two of them.
That was cool.
One, seasoned champs from California.
We've been practicing week after week. One ride, let's give it our all.
The other, underdogs from Illinois.
Dude, I think you look a little bit too fluffy.
Yeah, I feel like I might look too fluffy too.
At a time when straddling the border feels nearly impossible.
Your staff is speaking Spanish to customers when they should be speaking because America.
And Mexico has been the target of ire from the highest seat of U.S. politics.
Do you have papers? Do you have papers?
What does it mean to double down on your heritage when lots of people are telling you to leave it behind?
I'm not sure if I'm more Mexican or if I'm more American. I'm kind of like in between. I have to be able to relate to both, to being Mexican and then also bounce back from that idea and relate to being American.
An hour outside of Chicago, an unexpected community is formed. Over the past 3 decades, this predominantly white Midwestern suburb has become a home for Mexican Americans, who now make up nearly 30% of its population.
I've been living in Illinois for the past 90 years. This is the only other place besides Mexico that I know.
Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way. You're always in there fighting and you do your best. We're glad to have you out there in the Middle West. We're gonna root, 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 root White Sox and cheer you on to victory. When we're in the stands, we'll make those rafters ring. All through the season, you will hear us sing. Let's go, 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 White Sox. Chicago's proud of you.